Today's scent du jour is sandalwood, get it on that peg there that I made for it. Sorry, my candles aren't, or my lighters aren't always well behaved. Sorry. Oh, I forgot to do my setup. Sorry, guys. Give me a couple seconds here. And jasmine. Sorry, guys. I'm a little behind today. The dried flowers here. What you guys might not know is these calla lilies here, these actually came from a potted calla lily that I bought in the hopes to be able to keep it going. And unfortunately, these calla lilies needed a lot of moisture, and I live in a desert area, so a lot of moisture is not always easy for me to achieve. And this one's falling apart so much. Might have to replace it soon. Okay. And if you guys are curious as to why I put these dry flowers down, these dry flowers actually are the line for me. This is where I know I've got about almost a foot more desk left. Okay, I already took that out. Just a quick hand. I have these bigger pieces that tend to miss the scoop. It is why we have a big scoop. They actually fit into that scoop, but the reason why I make sure to go upside down, excuse me, is because some of those bigger pieces, thanks to physics, get stuck at the bottom. Before I do those beads, though, I do want to go ahead and do a quick shuffle of these cards. Does not mean that I'm not going to shuffle them again, don't worry. I do a quick shuffle here just because, guys, remember this is an honest card channel and we want these to be as randomized as possible. Because without a randomized set of cards, we don't get an accurate read. However, we could very well be one of those people who plants particular cards in particular spots in the deck to give you what I want you to hear as a read. And this is how we show you guys we don't do that. Well, that and the whole one take method. Guys, notice I will never cut the camera. I don't care if someone knocks at my door and I am out for an hour. I would rather time lapse that than ever cut the camera for you. And that is mainly because that's another, when camera technology came out, a lot of magicians took advantage of that for their tricks, of course, but also so did a lot of charlatan readers. So we don't do it that way. You won't see a cut in my videos. You may see something happen and it derailed the whole thing, so I do a second one, and then you get to see the one that got derailed afterwards. I've done that at least once. Alright, one more time and then we're going to get our beads going. Ugh. Harold is looking half full at the moment. Harold is supposed to have a whole bowl full of water here. They are so pretty though, aren't they? Harold is what I consider a conglomerate being. He's not one, he's many. Oh, this ground settled to the bottom and now I can drink it pretty confidently. It's almost too hot, but not too hot anymore. Okay, so first, I'm gonna go ahead and get these all mixed up for you guys. Sorry guys, my beads are just trying to recreate the explosion from last week. One hit the floor. I heard it. Where'd it go? Wasn't that? Okay. Okay. Ugh, the back of my shirt just keeps rolling and I don't know why. Ugh. Okay. So it looks like we got a lot today. We have a nail, papery. We have a very old school antique cross. This reminds me of old school Hispanic Catholicism, so perhaps this is an old school Hispanic Catholic, or was. There is one faux diamond here. There is a square W, a square H, a round Y, a round T, and these smaller squares are always numbers, so we have a 0 and a 4. That is a lot of beads to have come out this time, guys. I don't know if I've ever had this many come out. I think once before I've had this many come out. It doesn't want to lay flat. Alright, and back to the shuffling portion of this show, guys. We'll be shuffling all day and all night. It'll be fine. Okay. You guys can't see it, but that bag flow is flowing so beautifully over my table. Or over my desk, I should say, not table. It is an actual desk, guys. I don't know why I keep calling it a table. I mean, I've got my side drawers here, and I got my keyboard drawer here, and I got all the side drawers all the way down to the file cabinet drawer. This big old honker full of my craft stuff. But I keep calling it a table. I mean, I guess technically it is a type of table. The desk is just that. It's just... can't believe I keep doing that. Okay. Ah, this vacation time. I'm only going to take 2 weeks off from the channels here. Well, aside from this channel. You guys will see me putting out the Now Playings and the Lady Emery Draven's Thursday Thoughts. Sure. But but the vacation is actually, for him, gonna last more than 2 weeks this time. Serendipity and all. So there's gonna be a lot of things that happen around Dollhouse. It's gonna be kind of fun. I'm gonna finally get some of the repair work done I've been wanting to do. Some of the other stuff around the house, some of the PM work. Anybody who's into home repair and maintenance knows what I mean by PM work, so. If you don't, guys, get on it, man. Get on it. You definitely want PM work on your house. Okay, now, split. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh, oops. I'm not going to keep these too far away because I've needed clarification a couple times recently, so. Alright, so. It looks like the person I'm talking to here. WH squares YT circles 04 one faux diamonds and an old Latin Catholic cross. Latin-ish. It's not really Latin, it's Latin-ish. This person. You were somebody who had anxiety about something in your life, about some situation in your life, about some person in your life. I'm not sure. You dealt with a lot of anxiety, personal anxiety especially, it seems like, it feels like. And then you came into this situation. You met someone. You met someone in such a way that it seemed like young love. You might have been young, but it seemed like young love. But in a protected way, in a sweet, cute kind of way, in a, I just want to do what I can for you, I just want to make you happy, such. But, yeah. However, you have been feeling your burdens since then anyway. Maybe not anxiety, but you have definitely been carrying around your burdens. And have not released them despite having this coupling. It's the best way I can describe it. Despite having this coupling, and maybe not coupling per se, but more like mutual relationship, a partnered, hopefully, relationship. I say partnered. Young love can actually also be extremely one-sided as well, but this feels like someone you were going to share the load with. You were going to give equal decision power to, you know, real love partner, and all that. It doesn't feel like the idealized version, but you just didn't let those burdens go. You carried them around. Now, let's see where you're at. Okay. Okay. It's another one of those days, guys. I'm sorry. They're getting more complicated the more I do. And I don't know if that means that somebody's watching me who needs to hear something or what, but they're getting more complicated. It's this. What is this? What? Let the water's clear. Stop tracing up the mud. Oh, interesting. So, there is a big gap between where I normally am. This is up to present day. This is from today on. But this isn't quite explaining how you get from carrying these burdens to this point. And this point is saying something specific. So I went to pull another 3, but it felt like a continued sentence. And then the Ace of Cups comes out to meet this Knight of Cups. So, in the interim between, this is how we got from present day to your future. Okay, that a little further here. So while you're carrying your burdens here, these burdens are of course not financial burdens, sorry. These will be resource burdens, these will be mental health dings, things that will possibly hurt your mental health, things that will hurt your relationship. It's non-material woes for bohemians, right? And what I'm seeing here is you have anxiety over some issues in your life, or had anxieties, severe anxieties. Anxieties that presented themselves in the material world do not necessarily mean that they are material anxieties. However, as you can see, swords. It's actually your anxieties started to represent themselves in your material world as much as your non-material world. So, yeah. And then you came into this relationship, you came into this partnership of some type. Generally, yeah, it doesn't feel any less than usual. This feels like as romantic as it normally does for me. So this seems like, even if it's severely innocent, it's a love. I said romantic, doesn't necessarily mean romantic, but it's a love. And you come into this love, this partnership, this just absolutely jewels in your eyes kind of feeling, right? But you still, while you were in that place, you still carried these woes and burdens. You did not try to relieve any of the burdens by putting any of that onto your partner's radar. Not onto your partner. I mean, it's not a you put all that stress and anxiety and oh my god, this is what's happening on your partner, but a good partner, male or female, should be able to share your load. It is the honest truth. A good partner should be able to share your load, but you weren't sharing your load. And the cards aren't indicating anything about your partner, so I don't know if it's you weren't sharing your load because your partner did not seem like the person who would be able to receive it or not. I just know that you were not sharing your load. And this can be dangerous. This can be, like I said, it can seriously ding your mental health. So what I'm seeing is the reason why is you chose to go off as the Knight of Wands. You chose to take your wands and go off with them as if it was your civic and noble duty. Yes, noble duty. That's the right term. Any nobility has a certain amount of noble duty, especially a knight. But you chose to go off on your own as the Knight of Wands with your burdens to try to, I'm assuming, I don't know. I don't honestly know what you were trying to do doing that. I'm going to be honest, because that's not necessarily the best way to go, especially if you're already striking out on your own in the first place. But then you come back, even though that's not a great idea. You come back, and you come back victorious. You come back with all those laurels you felt you needed. You maybe had a community that was excited and happy to see you back no matter what had happened. They didn't have any clue that what happened while you were here. They didn't have any clue what was happening while you were here, but they are excited because you're back. They're giving you a victory parade with their wands in the air. You know, but that turns to strife too. I don't know why my cards are bending like this, guys. That turns to strife too. That turns to conflict as well. You are still holding on to those wands. And I mean, when we continue to hold on to the things that hurt us the most, it's usually not good, guys. It's usually just not good. The things that hurt us the most, the reason why we are supposed to divest ourselves of those things is because they hurt us so much, and they shouldn't have to. They shouldn't be allowed to, in fact, hurt us like that. However, due to this strife, you did become someone who is of cups, which is non-material wealth and prosperity, right? However, notice, guys, it's an ace. That's just one. So I kind of wonder if that maybe means that during this whole process, perhaps you lost this person. But again, that's the closest to any indication about the other person, other than the fact that they entered your life and then you are solo cups here. However, becoming solo in the cups puts you into the Knight of Cups. Now, of course, guys, understand this. Knight is not the lowest ranking of the nobility cards in tarot. The lowest ranking nobility card in tarot would be a Page of Cups. That would be somebody who is generally like a country prince, or even moreover towards the end of the actual age of chivalry. Of course, farmers would take their children to knights for pages as well, just so that they could learn how to do things, especially knightly things. So your page is your lowest ranking in nobility, which means you didn't even enter into Ace of Cups and then into the lowest ranking of nobility. You have a presence that makes you more... I'm hearing radiant as the right word in my head. So you have a presence that makes you more radiant as far as your capabilities, as far as showing up like nobility. So you don't tend to be at that novice level in your life, in the things you do in your life. You tend to start off a little higher than novice. So, but again, you went from this solo cups to becoming the Knight of Cups. But this kind of feels like a warning not to let your strength lead you onto the Fool's path. The Fool normally represents somebody who, yes, is tripping out into the path, but at the same time, the Fool also kind of represents somebody who not only is seemingly foolishly just heading off on the path and not worrying about making sure that they have anything. They actually do. If you look, they have a, I was about to say a bindle, but it looks like a purse. It's definitely more of a purse. A purse made for his belt, but he doesn't seem to have the kind of belt for that purse. And he has literally anything he's going to need. He's got whatever eating utensils he needs. He knows how to forage. He's got any kind of any kind of anything that he needs. And anything else he gets from the universe, from the world around us. So what this feels like is, now that you are currently in the going into the Knight of Cups, don't let your strength put you on the Fool's path, because that will put you right back in to those miseries. You'll be a king, sure, but you will also be right back in the miseries that you I'm not trying to sound blamey, but you'll be right back in those miseries that you refuse to let go of in your partnership. You'll be right back in those miseries that put you into the Knight of Wands, and then into the strife, into the celebratory strife, and then pure strife. You're going to go right back to what put you in the Ace of Cups. And if strife makes you that lonely, it is not strife worth having. Now, my brain is pulled to sorry, hold on. My brain is being pulled to the dove and wafer. This may feel like it is anointed this way, but if if you don't heed it, it's not going to feel anointed for very long. Okay. It didn't want to go in right. Hold on, guys. Ugh. This is why I like to have this double camera. I like to have my entire thing for you to see it so that you guys can see what's going on here, there, the other place. You guys can see that I'm not pulling the strings or billowing smoke from behind a curtain, as it were. I'm gonna have to wait until after I'm done shuffling. So I'm trying not to shuffle too close to the mic because I don't want you guys to have to hear it too loud. But that air resistance, I swear. Okay. So, I don't know why I split these because I'm just tossing them, but it's just what I do. Okay, so we're going for about 3. Just to give a little extra added clarity, maybe confirm what I think is going on here, or to tell me what might actually be going on if what I think is wrong. I have been watching, of course you guys know I do research. You may or may not know I do research, but I do a lot of research on a few different subjects. And one of the things I do is I like to check out other readers to see what tricks I need to warn you guys about, because as a Bohemian Gypsy, I was taught on a lot of things. But lately, okay, we know this is too many. We see the ring, so I guess we'll take 4. But we are not taking this one today. I am so sorry, but we are not. And they're all about halfway. I have seen lately a lot of card readers go like this. And this is one of the ways you can actually help to keep your cards in the order you want them to be, right? Because you're only pulling on the edge cards, then all the ones in the center are going to be exactly what they were. So, yeah. Y'all know me. I'm upsetty spaghetti when people do what I do, but they do it to con you. Especially since how they're not doing exactly what I do, because I don't do these tricks. Okay, so we have 15, 4, 15, 11, and 23. Important note, because of course some of these correlate with each other, and I need to know which cards I have for that correlative responses. So number 4, the first one that fell out and fell upside down. God, my throat. Sorry guys, hold on. Oh, my couplet is threatening to fall off my sewing table, guys. The key nearby is a certain augury of success, but surrounded by unlucky cards is prognostic illness. Okay, well, what do we have here then? Are they cards of luck or not? So far, we're going to say this is of success because we are seeing success. We are seeing success. We're just seeing success that may hold misery if we don't go the right way. 15, the letter is a sign of good tidings when near, and when touching indicates unexpected bad luck. When touching. So when I first got these cards, I told you guys that these are toss cards, which means they're made to be tossed, and not necessarily the way I do them. These are actually made for a game. If you're not sitting here playing actual card games with them, these are actually made to do 52 card pickup. You're supposed to take them like this, have the person sit down on the ground, take them like this, and fling them up everywhere. And only take the cards that are face up. And you're supposed to go by how close or far they literally are from the person. So when this one says, when touching indicates unexpected good fortune, they might actually literally mean touching the person. And I know I tossed them right here real small, but there is a chance they could have flung over to the flowers, which is, as I have said before, my indicator for you guys. That's why the camera's right there, so that you are the flowers. So I'm going to say that that was not touching. So it seems to be a message of good tidings. So far, we have success and good tidings, right? A fox in close proximity. This is a really weird way of spelling it, so argues distrust of acquaintances who are seeking to betray you. Okay? So perhaps somewhere in the next few days, which is what... Oh. There are 5 cards here, guys. Which is what is right here. This is the next few days. So perhaps what's going on is here, these next few days, this is maybe what this is right here. That makes a lot of sense. Oh. Can't see what it is if I do it like that, though. Sorry, guys. Okay. Hold on. I'll reorganize it here in a little bit. Okay, so the ring, when to the right of the person, okay, that's certain. That's certain. So it fell like this, guys. As we saw before. Or did it fall like this? No, it fell like this because I read it like that. So it says when to the right, but this is falling technically towards the left because, of course, you go from the bottom of the card to the top and it's pointing left. But lying to the left, disappointment in love. So that's a hell of a lot more certain than we thought. And the clover leaf is a bearer of good tidings, but near clouds, which it is not. Okay. If, however, number 2, 29, or 28. Okay. So this is good tidings, good luck, I would assume. Okay, so we were to put this how it feels. Okay. Because it feels like, for all intents and purposes, that you are not unsuccessful as a person. It also, though, feels like, you know, your good tidings are coming in because you have a partner here. Then there's this. Then there's this. There's this. Yeah, maybe actually like this, because this is where the warning comes in right here. Let's do it like this, actually. There we go. This is how I feel like this spread is supposed to be. Guys, I've never actually followed a spread pattern, a layout pattern. I have never actually followed it. My standard 7-card layout, with three being your past and 4 being your future. That's something that I was taught a long time ago and started following, but that's not a layout. It's just a basic spread. But this is how they seem to be reading. You had severe anxiety about something, about maybe even generally your whole life, who knows. Then you had, at the same time, you were having success. Perhaps that's part of the reason why you had anxiety in the first place. This could be transferable, where we could just, you know, switch it around. I'm not sure. It feels like these could be, you know, one and the same on top of each other, like this. But, of course, you can't see it that way, especially for the layout photo, so we're not doing it that way. You met somebody who was a good partner, or at least a partner that had you in this mindset of young love, young happiness, young pursuits, but especially looks like love. You had good tidings. You had much luck, or much fortune in life. Not like monetary fortune, but fortune as in love. But you still chose to carry your own burdens and not let anyone else share that with you, which set you into the mindset of a Knight of Wands. Then in that mindset, you did the things you needed to do for your community, for your partnership, whatever it was, but still carrying those burdens. Those burdens, or just your partner in general, or people around you, were seeming suspicious, give you cause to pause with their commitment to what's going on, or whatever. There was suddenly strife. That strife was enough to, you know, to cause disappointment in love. That disappointment in love puts you into an Ace of Cups. Yes, Yes, you were abundant. Resources and health-wise, you were abundant. Oops, sorry guys. However, I shouldn't say however, you were resource and health abundant. No, however, because however, you were also feeling like you were on your own. Which, I'm not gonna lie, feels like a pattern with you, honestly. And perhaps that was part of it. Perhaps you're wanting to carry your strife on your own and not burden your partner with it. Perhaps that's what caused this additional strife, this suspicion and all that. But you had good luck, good tidings, which puts you into this Knight of Wands, which is a movement forward. It's a attempting to better the things that are going on in your life. But you're being warned not to let your strength guide you into the fool's path, because you will be a king of strife if you do. That's not going to be fun. Okay. Well, I have been here for a very long time. This is a far longer read than normal. So I'm a little nervous about that. I don't normally put them up for this long. It's almost 50 minutes worth. So I'm going to take a picture here, and I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. I've got a whole day of stuff that I need to do. Well, technically 2 days worth of stuff, but you guys won't know about that tomorrow anyway. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do what I need to do to get this up for you guys. And yeah. Don't forget, guys, doesn't matter who you are, I love you. Take care of each other, and I'll see you guys in the next video.